Good morning, students. Today, our topic of discussion for standard 10th SSC board is the fourth chapter of section 1, effects of electric current. Before we actually proceed with the topic, let us revise few things from previous classes. Like in standard 8th or 9th, we have studied few topics related to static electricity, where it is mentioned that electrons, when flows from a body to other body, then the body from where the electron left acquires positive charges, whereas the body on which the electron gets deposited acquires negative charge. Also, we have seen in the chapter current electricity that there are basically three types of materials: conductors, insulators, and semiconductors. For today, our region of interest will be on conductors and insulators. Semiconductors will be discussed later, just as a part of knowledge. What are conductors? At lower level or lower classes, we used to define the one which allows electricity to flow through them are called conductors in case of electricity, and in case of heat we say the one which allows flow of heat are called conductors of heat. But exactly what will be the definition for conductors to define it in a more precise form? So we can say conductors are those materials in which there are abundance of free electrons, and these free electrons under the influence of external electric field can flow from one end to another. Best example of conductors are metals. In case of metals, there are abundance of electrons. That's why metals are used in fabricating wires or cables. Most of the cables, almost all of them, are fabricated from conductors like copper, aluminum, silver, even gold, etc. Whereas in case of insulators, they lack electrons. They don't have electrons. Hence, even if external electric field is applied, there is no flow of charges taking place, and hence they do not conduct at all. So this is the basic theme about conductors and insulators. Now question arises, the third case, semiconductors. These are those materials like silicon, germanium, under special conditions like adding trivalent or pentavalent impurities or either heating them makes the material start conducting, whereas in rest of the cases they behave like insulators, and hence the name semiconductors. So these are basic three types of materials available. Now let us come to the topic, effects of electric current. The topic itself says that whenever electric current will be flowing through a conducting wire, the flow of current will result into production of different types of energies in its surrounding or on the body itself, through which the electric current is flowing. The first part which we are going to see is due to flow of electric current, heat is produced. We are going to focus more on how this happens, which are the day-to-day life examples, the circuit diagram and the equations. So this will be the scopes and limitation for us based on this article. Now question arises, how heat is produced whenever there is flow of electric current. And for that we need to revise few things, few basic things. The first thing is, what is an electric current? We denote it by letter I, and it can be stated in this manner. Electric current is nothing but rate of flow of charges through a conductor. Electric current can be defined as rate of flow of charges through conductor. Unit can be coulomb per second or amperes. This will be the definition of electric current. The second basic concept will be electric potential V, which can be stated as W upon Q. Unit will be joule per coulomb or volt. Now question arises, how to define electric potential? Answer is very easy. Whenever see the electrons flow through a conductor from one point to another, no doubt a work is done. A work is always done on the charge so that it flows from one point to another. And question also arises, how is this work carried out? Which is the source of energy in this case? So the answer is also simple. In an electric circuit, always we have a source of current, which is either in the form of a cell or a battery. That cell or battery acts as a source of energy to perform this work on the electric charge. Now question arises, how to define it? Electric potential can be defined as, it is the amount of energy required or work done in circulating a charge from higher potential towards the lower potential. Hence it is V is equal to W upon Q. We can also elaborate it as, then the electric work done will be electric potential into charge. So these are those two formulae which are essential for us to study what will be happening mathematically in the expressions of electric current and its heating effect. And the third point which is required for us will be Ohm's law, which we have studied in lower classes. V is equal to IR. As long as the physical state of the conductor remains the same, the potential difference applied across the two ends of the conductor will be always directly proportional to the amount or quantity of current flowing through it. So, these three basic equations will guide us to derive the expression for heat and the electric current, which we will see further. So, I hope that these basic points are clear to each of you. Let us see the circuit diagram. Now, always remember, never by heart any electric circuit diagram. It is totally based on the concept. So, there are certain requirements. I won't write here, but I will mention it verbally. First of all, we need a source for electric current, which will be done by a cell or a battery. To allow the flow of current or to stop the flow of current, we need a plug key. To detect or to measure the amount of electric current flowing through the circuit, we need an ammeter. To measure the potential difference between the two ends of the resistor, we need a voltmeter. And most important and interesting thing is we need conducting wires. So, let us see step by step how it works. So, first I will draw the source. Always begin with the source with positive and negative terminals. We can fix a plug key over here, which acts like a routine switch. Then we connect these two ends of the battery to the two ends of the resistor through connecting wires. Now, we are aware that we need an ammeter to measure the electric current. So, one can also fix it here or on this side. So, I will erase a part of it and there I will show you how the ammeter is connected. Always place proper polarities for the given meters, and we need a voltmeter which is always connected in parallel. We will label these two ends as A and B. Now, looking at these polarities, we can call this as positive and negative. We are aware a battery acts as a source of electric current. Conventional current always flows from higher potential towards the lower potential. So, we will show it by letter capital I. We have already defined current is rate of flow of charges. So, question arises, whenever these charges will be flowing from A to B, work will be done on them and the potential difference in doing that work is denoted by V suffix AB. Once again I define this potential difference across these 2 points A and B is nothing but the work done in making that charge flow from this terminal to the other through an external resistance. This word is very important. If we don't mention through an external resistance and we simply say that it flows from one end to another or from positive terminal to negative terminal, then it is defined as electromotive force. So, difference between electromotive force and a potential difference is, in case of electromotive force, the charge will flow from positive end to negative end or higher potential to lower potential in absence of external resistance. Whereas in case of potential difference, work is done to make that charge flow from A to B through a resistance R. This is a resistor R having resistance value capital R. The potential difference across this resistor is V suffix AB. So, let us quickly revise what are the meanings of the notations in this circuit diagram. This is battery which acts as source of electric current. We have a plug key which acts like a switch. We have a voltmeter denoted by letter capital V. A resistor having resistance value capital R. Charge flowing through it is Q. Potential difference across the terminal AB is denoted by V suffix AB, and to measure the flow of current, there is an ammeter capital A. Now, this is the complete circuit diagram for heating effect due to electric current. Question arises, in this entire circuit diagram, where will be the heat actually produced because of the flow of current? And the answer is very simple. Our region of interest is the resistor having resistance R. Whenever the electric current flows from higher potential towards the lower potential, this word resistor, it acts like a barrier, it opposes the flow of current. Current is nothing but rate of flow of charges, and those are electrons maybe in this case. So, the material of the resistor is in such a way that it offers a resistance, it acts like an obstacle for the flow of the electrons coming from the source. During that, heat is released near this resistor. The resistor gets heated. And that is why we say that the flow of electric current produces a heat across the resistor capital R. Now, let us see how we can derive the relationship mathematically in an equation form for the heat H which is released or which is present near the resistor capital R due to flow of current capital I. We are aware, in lower classes we have seen definition of power in equation form was product of potential difference and current, V into I. Also we have seen, as per Ohm's law, V is equal to I into R. So, I will call this as equation 1 and this as equation 2. Simply I am using the basic concepts of lower classes. Electric power, I will mention it here so that we are more precise. Electric power is defined as the potential difference into the current, and as per Ohm's law, potential difference is the product of current and the resistance. Let us substitute this value in equation 1. Equation 2 is substituted in equation 1. And we get this electric power is equal to I, and this I gets multiplied, so it becomes I square R, equation number 3. So, this is our equation for electric power. Now, we are already aware electric power is rate at which the work is done, and here work is done at the cost of electrical energy. Also, we have seen that potential difference over here is work upon charge, and work is equal to potential into, they get multiplied here. Also, we have seen in the revision, current is rate of flow of charges. So, I can say charges will be the product of current into the time duration t for which the current is flowing through it. If I substitute it here, let us call this as equation 4 and this as equation 5. So, I substitute equation 5 in equation 4. So, this equation will look like so, in this case we are doing the work from A to B. So, this can be also written as VAB. So, W is equal to VAB IT. Also, we are aware we can use both the things here to find out the solution. VAB is equal to IR. So, I can also substitute it here, and the electrical energy or work done can be written as I square R T. These all expressions are very, very important for solving the numericals. I hope till here the concept is clear to all of you. So, first what we did, we have defined what is electrical power. We have also defined in the other terms of energy or work how power can be defined. Then we have taken the help of Ohm's law, we have substituted the equation, we got P is equal to I square R, and then further we have taken the help of definition of this potential difference between A and B, and we have reached till electrical energy is equal to I square RT. But our region of interest is what will be the final expression for heat produced. So, let us see that and complete the article. We are aware that electrical power is equal to electrical energy upon time. Now we have seen the electrical energy gets converted into heat. Electrical energy gets converted into heat energy. So the heat energy H upon time will be equal to power. Already we have derived here that power is I square R, and which is equal to H upon T. So therefore H will be equal to I square into RT. So this is an expression for heat energy which is produced due to electric current. Also, if we compare equation 6 and 7, we will find the relationship is the same, because here we have electrical energy which is getting converted into heat energy. So the equations will remain same as per law of conservation of energy, that energy is getting converted from one form to the another. So this is the final expression. I hope that you have understood all the basic points, the circuit diagram, the working of the circuit diagram, the functioning or the aim of the components or apparatus which are required, and finally all the expressions. Thank you very much.